Hello students, how are you? I am Parv Gupta. I'll be your tutor for this video series. Today let's start with the first lesson in the series, that is about microcontrollers, development boards, modules and ICs. So let's start with ICs. ICs means integrated circuits. Like till now you have been working with a couple of components like resistors, capacitors, inductors and even a couple of LEDs and stuff like that. Like all those components are so much big. If we need to like make a device like our smartphone or something more portable like these earphones or something like that, we need to compress the size. Think about a smartphone. It contains billions of transistors. So we have seen that the transistor size is very much big. If a smartphone can contain billions of transistors, that means we need to do something to miniaturize the size of these components. So think of an IC as a combination of all these components in a very miniature package. So for example, here you see a 555 IC that contains a lot of components combined together and compressed into a very small form, just giving us output of 8 pins. So that is a very basic introduction about ICs, that's integrated circuits. As the name implies, it have integrated the entire circuit into a very small package. So ICs can come in very different shapes and sizes. Here you can see ICs ranging from very small 555 8-pin IC to some larger ICs like these Atmega microcontrollers. You must have seen typically ICs in a dual inline package, that's this package. But there are also ICs available that are 3-pin ICs like these LM7805, LM317Ts ICs that are voltage regulator ICs. So ICs are not defined by their shapes. They can come in all different shapes and variation. Like for example, there are ICs that are available in SMD packages. Here means surface mount device. Like over here you can see a dual inline package, that means the through hole package. So the IC pins are going through the board itself, whereas on this other board the microcontroller IC pins are only on the surface of the board. Now let's move ahead to microcontrollers. Think of a microcontroller as a very small computer. It contains all the required peripherals, like for example, it contains a processor, its own RAM, its own GPIO pins and its own flash storage in itself, all completely built right into it. So think of it as a very basic PC which can do whatever you program it in order to complete the task that you have provided it to do. Think about a device like for example this TV remote, this pair of headphones or these earphones. These all contains microcontroller for either like getting input from our hand or to process the music and give the output to our ears. So what a microcontroller does is basically we program it to do a certain function. So let's say we program our microcontroller in such a way that when I press this volume up button, it sends a pulse from the IR LED to the TV and the TV increases the volume. That's how a microcontroller works. Microcontrollers are found in numerous different applications, like from smartphones to telephones to washing machines to your inverter to all the basic components that you see all around yourself. There are even microcontrollers now embedded in the clothes. Microcontrollers also come in all different shapes and sizes, starting from this 80 tiny 85 in 8-pin IC to the very small SMD microcontrollers, ranging all the way to very big microcontrollers that we use in our computers. Think of a development board, an easy way to getting started with microcontrollers. So for example, I have in hand is a Arduino development board. It's based on Atmega 328P IC, that's from Atmel. We require a clock to run our microcontroller, that's also integrated by the crystal oscillator on our development board. So on the Arduino, we have got a power supply that converts the input voltage to 5 volts. Also, there are a couple of peripheral devices like the reset button, the GPIO pins. The GPIO here means general purpose input output pins. You can easily add different sensors through these GPIO pins and even input or output the data from our microcontroller. So now there are several different microcontroller based development boards that are available in the market, like the Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mega, the Raspberry Pi, the Node MCU, the ESP32 development board and numerous others. For example, Arduino Uno is the most basic development board that's used by beginners. Next comes Arduino Nano, that's a miniature version of the same Arduino Uno. it have a little less functionality and little less GPIO pins. If you need to scale up, we have got the Arduino Mega in hand that can do several different numerous tasks, got a powerful processor, a lot of RAM, and a numerous amount of GPIO pins. Next comes these Node MCU and the ESP32s. These are all Wi-Fi enabled microcontrollers, so you can easily connect them to the internet and make your own Internet of Things device. That's what our course is all about. Also, there are several different advanced, like miniature single board computers, like the Raspberry Pis. So now comes modules. What are modules? Think of module as like sensors made easy to connect with Arduino or any development board, because normally sensors don't provide enough data or in the correct form that we need. So we need modules in order to convert the data, either to amplify or to convert in a communication protocol that our microcontroller supports. So for example, let's take this DHT11 module in hand. All it have is a temperature and humidity sensor that is coupled with a capacitor and a resistor in order to convert the readings to our own microcontroller. Another board that comes in hand is a Bluetooth module. This helps your Arduino to communicate with either say your smartphone or any other Bluetooth device. So now there are several different modules, as you can see, like this 8-channel relay module, RTC module, 16x2 LCD module, GSM module, joystick module, RF module, touch sensing module, PIR motion sensing module, gas sensor, IR module. Next comes in hand is a Arduino shield. A shield completely sits on top of your Arduino and integrates. For example, this is a motor controller shield. So this completely aligns with the GPIO output of your Arduino, and the pins sit on top of the Arduino Uno in order to take the input from Arduino and supply it to your motors. So I think this is enough information for our first video. Hope to see you in next videos ahead. I am Parv Gupta signing off. We'll meet next time.